Alright, hi everyone and welcome to another photo editing video from Jason at Screen Photographic. Hope you're having a good day. Now one of the tricky things that you might find in any kind of photo editing is eye coloration. And certainly looking at different ways where you can change eye colour, but I found a very quick and easy and efficient way which I'm pleased to say works in both Gimp and in Photoshop. So here we are in trusty Gimp, or the new image manipulation program, hence the name. And what we're going to do now, we're just going to collect or select an image from the shoot we did with Jess. We've seen these images before, and Jess has some fantastic eyes, doesn't she? Here, these blue eyes. And we're going to change this to a different colour. Now the easiest way to do this, first of all, is to come up to your layers panel on the right hand side. Now layers are like individual versions of the image, if you like. So any edit I make in this particular version, for example if I draw a black line, we'll edit in this layer. Whereas if I control and Z out of that to delete that black line, and I duplicate the layer, if I then make a black line across the image here, turn that layer off, we haven't affected the baseline image. So you can duplicate the layers, knowing that any layer that edit that you make isn't going to affect the one below it, or isn't going to affect the original image until you merge those down. But we don't want to do that, so let's take that line out and let's delete the layer. So we are going to duplicate, and what we're going to do is make the picture look a little bit funky. Let's go up to our colours and let's colorise the image. Now if you're following along with your own image, this is very easy to do. I want you to select the colour that you like. So Jess has blue eyes, so we're going to go the other way and we're going to make these eyes green for the sake of this tutorial. And that looks alright, and we'll make them a little bit darker, so let's come in here. And that's it. Okay. As you've noticed, we appear to have made all of the image green and turned Jess into the Hulk, which I'm sure she'll probably be quite happy with. But that's not the effect that we want. So here's where masking comes in, and a mask does probably exactly what you think it does by the title of the edit. It allows you to essentially overlay an edit onto an image. So to set a mask in Gimp, you right click, you go to add layer mask. Now for an opacity you'd want to work off the black channel, and for a transparency you want to work off the white colour mixer. And I'll do a video which explains these in more depth at some point in the future, but this is just very low level edit for you, very easy to do. I'm willing to bet that very advanced Gimp users, very advanced Photoshop users are doing this every single day, so to get you up to speed. So let's pick the transparency. You don't want to invert the mask, so make sure that that's unchecked, and you want to click add. Now you can see that the original layer, the green, is still there, but the mask has now covered that over with the edit that we want. Now I mentioned working on the opposite colour channel, because if we work off the black, if we control and zoom our mouse wheel, nothing will happen. So use these little arrows here, bring the background colour, in this case of black, to the foreground. Make sure that your size of your brush isn't too big, and I'd recommend working off the softer version of all the brushes, but you can experiment. So I've got some smoke brushes here, we've got the little Gimp mascot Wilbur here, but I don't know what he'd do. We want to keep it sensible for this edit, so I'm going to pick the least fuzzy brush, and here's where the magic happens. You can now paint the green into the image. Don't worry, for the sake of this video this is a quick edit, so if we do go over, then it's easy just to back out, which you need to do. So if you do make a mistake, so you come over in this area, oh no, I made a mistake, hit Control and Z, as in most computer programs, and does it all for you. Come over to Jess's other eye, and we'll do the same again. Now depending on how you've shot the image, depending on if you used a flash, there may be a good catch light in the eye. You're obviously going to want to preserve that. You may indeed, if you want to do so, zoom in and bring the blacks of the eyes out, again doing a a very similar mask. Just apply another instance, set it all to I'd recommend grey to bring the blacks up on the eyes, or you can do it using the dodge burn tool, which we're not going to do today. I'm just going to bring this brush down just a little bit for the tops of the eyes. Zoom in. That looks pretty cool, doesn't it? The last thing to show is if you think, okay, these are maybe a little bit too green, to the effect you want to go for, then all you need to do is lower the opacity, and it brings it down. So if you bring it all the way down to 0, it goes back to Jess's original eye colour, and if you bring it all the way up to, say, I'll call it 65%, let's push it a bit more, let's go 69% today, shall we? I quite like that. So yeah, that's the easiest way to change eye colour in both Gimp and Photoshop. There are other video techniques and ways of doing it which are probably worth knowing, but they are quite long-winded, and if you've got to edit a number of images, or you've got a large edit to do on an image, or perhaps time is of the issue, this works quite well. Just to explain the dodge burn technique for you, just to bring the blacks up on the eyes, if we duplicate the layer again, so we keep the green in, remember that's the top layer. If we turn it off, we can turn it on, but we're going to work with the second layer, so let's just turn it off quickly. And what we can do, we can now go to our dodge burn tool, which is this one. You want to burn for the darker areas, and you want to dodge for the lighter areas, and we want to affect the shadows of the image, and we're just going to put this over here. And do the same on the other eye. Oh, that's a bit big. Control Z out of there, and do the same on the other eye. There we go, let's turn that back on. They're looking pretty sharp to me. And you can dodge burn in again now that you've got your filter laid up. And just make the darks of the eyes stand out, so we can go to this area here. Yeah. That's looking pretty sharp, so let's turn these off. That's what we started with. As we brought the blacks of the eyes out of it, that's where they added the greens. And the opacity, if you want to down the opacity again on the dodge burn, you can do that and make sure that it doesn't look too black. As you can see if we zoom in, they look probably quite dark and soulless. You can bring those down. Let's say if you had a catch light from a flash, you want to preserve that somewhat. And that, my friends, is how you can colour eyes quickly and efficiently in most photo editing software. I hope you found that useful. Gimp, as you know, is free software which you can download from the Gimp website, and I'll put the link below. You can also add Gimp filters to it as well, which I would recommend that you do, as they produce some quite funky results, and we'll look at those in another time. But yeah, enjoy it. Get hold of an image online, perhaps you've got a photo that you want to edit, have a go at editing different colours. You can expand this so you can change hair colour, you can change skin colour, experiment, and if you do come up with some results, please comment below where those results are. And I will see you all in the next video. Have a lovely day, and remember, always take the shot.